All right. What's up, y'all? This is your girl Fee, the I am that I am, y'all. And we in here today for another episode of Frequency Higher Talk, where we talk about going to another level of frequency. We talk about deconstruction, journeys of religion. We talk about spiritual beliefs. And today we have our Empress, Shay Marie. And Shay is going to get on here and she's going to tell us about her journey, about her life, and give us an insight on who she is and what makes her the Empress. All right. Well, we thank you, Empress Shay Marie, for coming in and just tell us a little bit about you, where you're from. You have children, you're married. Just get that out the way.
Absolutely. Greetings. Thank you for having me. Glad to be here today. I am Empress Shay Marie, born and raised in the heart of Detroit, Michigan. It's currently where I domicile still. I am a mother. I am a wife. I'm a grandmother. Actually, three. I have three grandbabies now, and I'm basically I've been an entrepreneur all of my life, I can say. So I'm an entrepreneur, and right now it you know focusing more so on building my legacy, kingdom building, getting to know self more, and just building my life and my family and ministry as well. I am the minister of Save Thyself and founder of Save Thyself International Moorish Ministries, which is a ministry that I founded um, officially in 2024, I believe. Yeah, 2024. But I've actually, prior to, it was a different name, under a different name. But I've actually been doing this work, ministry work. We were the Freedom Writers at the time, from like 2020 to 2023. Um, and I've just been a seeker of knowledge and education for a very long time and just elevating myself to learn and grow and take the knowledge and the wisdom that I learn and apply it to life and learn how to, like I said, build and grow from there.
So, what was your interest in the Moorish? What led you there?
In more science, well, um, to be honest, when I started coming into the knowledge of self, learning about self, whatever, I think a lot of us all go through those different stages of learning about who you are. And technically, we are all of those things. But at first, it was okay, learning about, how we didn't come from Africa and that we were actually, been here, and that went from learning that we were the American Indians. We are the true American Indians, which we are still the true American Indians, but it also led me into learning about what they call um, Moorish Americans. I don't like
Mm.
to identify as a Moorish American because Moorish, that's kind of like an oxymoron, same as African American, or any other type of conjunction like they try to throw at
Hmm.
us. These are names that were given to us. These are not actually our true identity as a people. So technically, this is the land of Morocco. This is the empire. From my studies and my learning, I've come to know that this is the empire of Morocco, and we are actually the true Moroccans. And when you say empire, that basically means not just here in the Americas, but all over the world is the empire of Morocco. But the empire really helmed here in the Americas, the North America. And so just learning about those things, when I began to learn more about Moorish Americans and things of that nature, I remembered some things that back in, I was maybe like 20, 25 years old. My mother, who I was kind of blessed to learn a lot from, but my mother was going through the process of nationality at the time and learning about the birth certificate, and so she was actually teaching me and my siblings about it, but I'm more so the only one that kind of took an interest in it. But and this, like I said, this was about maybe 20 years ago or more. Um, she was, doing the work of trying to claim the birth certificates. We had to go get our birth certificates, and she was doing all type of work, which at the time I didn't understand, and at the time I don't think she fully understood. But during
Mm,
my research and study back in like maybe 2020, 2021, I was doing a public search of my name, and I had seen that my mother in 2005 had did some type of UCC claim for my name, and
mm,
um, it was a public search, like a how do you call it, like a, a clearance search or a background search of your
mm.
entity, because um, many people don't know, but you know you are really not your name. Your name that
Mhm,
your mother gave you is actually a separate entity, and it's a business that's being run as it is the likes of you. And we can go into that. But so when I saw that on the public search, it just kind of was like, well, in alignment with what I was doing at the time, and to know that my this was what my mother would have been already been working on, let me know that this is what I was supposed to be doing to learn more about it.
mm,
And unfortunately my mother is no longer here with us, and I did not come into this knowledge until after she passed, the way I have
mm.
come to understand it today. um, I didn't come into any of these things to be able to go back and correspond with her and take it any further
Yeah,
with her. But at the same time, it let me know that I was actually moving in the right path. And my awakening actually started, I'll probably say my true awakening started probably like a month, no more than, I mean, no less than a couple of weeks after my mother transitioned.
wow.
So, you know, it just let me know that I was on the right path to understanding exactly who we are, and then going into learning about law and commerce and how to take back and reclaim our nationalities, reclaim our estates, which are really what they
Mhm.
are, and building from there.
Now, I've saw some things about the birth certificates, and I
Hmm.
wasn't exact. I don't know anything about that. I mean, I just really haven't taken the time to do the research. So can
Hmm.
you kind of explain that? Because I've seen a couple of people talking about the you claim a number and but I don't know.
Well, there's so many different pieces to the puzzle, and to be honest, they literally made it complex to the point where people can't really understand this and would want to not take the time to learn it. But technically, what has happened is, um, it's really a long story, but birth certificates really did not exist until 1933. Prior to 1933, everything was basically kept by the church and by our families, and Bibles, family Bibles, and things of that nature. And as the government was trying to take control of the indigenous people here on the land, um, they came up with this beautiful scheme of basically taking all of the wealth that our ancestors basically had and tricking them into relinquishing their wealth and becoming United States citizens, kind of sort of through the birth certificate. And it's really not. It's basically like an adhesion contract. It is nothing really that we are consciously aware of that we're consenting to, but when our when we have a child, um, what happens from birth is weights and measures are taken. We're weighed at birth, and all of those different um, aspects that we all see on a birth certificate coordinate with the setup of an entity in your
Mm-hmm.
name. So I don't know if a lot of people have heard about the all caps name, but your name in all caps is not you. We were never like, I don't know about you, but I didn't learn to write my name in all caps in school, coming up in school. We always wrote our names with a first letter capital and the rest lowercase within our name.
Mm-hmm.
So when you when you receive mail and all of these things, all though that name is not technically you, it is a separate entity made in your likeness through your birth
Mm-hmm.
certificate. Your birth certificate, like I said, the weights and measures of your body, all of these things, because we all know that our bodies are basically every element of Earth at the end of the day, but more so, um, as the Constitution says that there's no money can be but gold and silver. So we also have those elements within our bodies, and so we are measured at birth and given. Some say it's just like $600,000. We're given a value where they're taking that document, that birth certificate, and they're turning it into like a securities instrument that they put on the stock market, and you're literally being traded from birth.
Mm-hmm.
So we all come here with value. And I don't know about you, but I grew up in a
Wow.
Christian home, and we've always, I've in the Christian home, we've always been told we were born into sin. You know what I mean? And
Mm-hmm.
knowing what I know now, sin actually means debt. And so they're trying to say that we were born into debt, and which many of us have taken on that mentality. However, we don't know that we're actually worth gold, we're worth silver, we're worth, to me, I would say, unlimited value.
Yeah.
Um, that, like I said, that birth certificate is being traded on the stock market. Many people don't
Wow.
understand that the real system is based off of
Wow. Wow.
just, it's an illusion. The system is an illusion. There is no money. There really is no money. I was just listening to something today, and it reminded
Believe.
me, and it was talking about how there's literally only 3% of the money supply that is in real circulation. The other 97% is just digits on a screen.
Wow.
Yeah, I had to pause there because it's like
Wow. Wow. Wow.
that is crazy to believe that, like, we're working for our own money. Everything we're doing is already paid for, because money is just an illusion. We're literally, to me, I would I like to tell people we are working for other people to live this so-called American dream that we
Yeah.
are supposed to be living, or that everybody on this planet should be living, because there's no reason why we should be um, struggling or without, especially not just from the economy, but for the simple fact that this is our land. We were given dominion by God to this land. And so everything here is made for us to be able to use. It is for us to store and to
Hmm.
make make use of. So we shouldn't be paying lights and gas, water, all of those things are already paid for. Even the cars that we drive is already paid for.
Mm.
Don't.
I guess
And
that's
so
where the
we're just,
Christians get it from, paid in full. Oh man,
yeah,
everything,
basically.
man, that's crazy.
So we've literally been being lied to, and it's really kind of difficult to get people to understand this information. It's very, very complex. Don't get me wrong. However, things are definitely changing for the better. That system is currently being dismantled, and I am grateful to say, based on my research and just staying plugged into a lot of geopolitics and things of that nature, pretty soon we'll be living in wealth the way we supposed to be living. It may not look like it because there's a lot of chaos going on the land right now that
Yeah,
it's just it's crazy. But if we can just stay grounded and stay uplifted and make sure that we are continuing to be healthy, we're gonna definitely see better days.
yeah, and I believe that. I really feel, you know, I look at things a little bit different. To me, this is the best time. I love this time. I love the cleansing. I love the awakening. I mean, I love it. It's beautiful. I'm not, ain't nobody chasing me. Ain't no devil on my tail. Ain't no entities out there. Man, this is the best time. And I appreciate it because, when you look at the political stuff, it's like if you always give people what they want, then they're going to be satisfied. And from my point of view, when I look at the whole Republican and the Democratic stuff and all of that, I think that we needed for this to happen. We needed for this administration to come in so we can see what and who we're dealing with. If you would have put the other administration in, y'all would have just, they would have patted y'all on the head, gave you a couple little social welfare programs, gave you a little bit of money. You know what I'm saying? And you have been happy. You'd have been perfectly fine with that
Absolutely.
system, perfectly fine.
Yeah,
But
I
then
mean,
black people complain about they want stuff to be done. Well, now we see
mhm,
it. So why are
mhm.
you complaining? You know what I'm saying? Come on, be for
They
real.
don't. It's cognitive dissonance, and then they don't. A lot of people are just. Unfortunately, I hate to say it, but like a number was done on our people. Like it's really sad. Um, the mind. Excuse my French, but the mind fuck that has been done to the point where it's like if
Yeah.
if at this point, if no one, especially at the level I'm on, if no one around me wants to hear it, or especially knowing what I know now and about different dimensions and just different realities and things like that, I just have to
Mhm.
live in my reality and let them live in theirs because I'm not going to be held back anymore. Um, Unfortunately, I can't save everyone. And unfortunately, people don't even understand that they need to be saved because they're literally waiting on Jesus, this man named Jesus, to come back and save them. And they don't understand that they are gods and that they can save themselves. And so, people
But
they literally fight me about that, about me telling them that they're gods, that we are gods. It's really sad.
Mhm. Yeah,
It's
it
like,
really
why?
is because was brought up Christian. Now, I got kind of both sides. One side of the family was Christian, and the other side was, Muslim. So I seen, both
Mm,
sides. And once I got a little bit of knowledge, at least to think, like how is it that, and I'm a very raw person, so I just say how I don't give a fuck. I just say how I feel. But how is it that you are serving a God that literally the people that hate you claim to be their mascot. He literally is the mascot for anybody that don't like anybody of color. We'll put it that way because it ain't just us. It's
Mhm.
anybody. It's everybody but them. So
Mhm.
does that make sense? And then I was looking at Roots. They had Roots on the TV
Mhm.
the other day, and I was looking at it, and even in that movie, they tell you that the black people on the plantation, they black. They
Mhm.
literally had a conversation with the African slaves, and they're like, we ain't from no Africa. We from here.
Mm-mm.
So if you from here,
Exactly.
then at one point you wasn't a slave.
Mhm.
So what was the reasoning behind all of the black people, black Americans being swept up and put on plantations? And then when you try to explain to Christians that that was not a plantation, it was a
Right.
prisoners of war. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
They
Yeah.
snatched
Well,
us
they were
up,
actually
and then
our. They were actually our own lands. They basically came and took over our lands. They took over our plant. When they weren't plantations, they were where we built our our tribes, our families, and everybody worked the land. We lived off the land. We tilled the land. They came and took over our lands and had people that look and put people that look like us over us to
mhm.
become, like you said, become those prisoners of war.
Yeah, and I just
Absolutely.
don't understand. Even if you just think about it, you don't have to. You don't even have to believe what I say. Just go do some research,
Hmm.
because if it does not bother you that when that slave master was whooping Kunta and telling him that his name is Toby,
Right.
that don't set something off in your head. That's got
Right.
even if you still choose to be that, at least you got the information to know that this is not real. So now where are we? And I'm like you.
Yeah.
I don't even care no more. I mean, if you want to be
Yeah.
looking like that, then be looking like that, because every time I'm gonna come at you with the truth. They're like, oh, we got the word.
Hmm.
You got a word out of a book, but you don't have the truth, because if you believe what's in that book, then you have to believe what's in the book about the other books. So why are you not
Right.
doing that? You want to
Exactly.
pick and choose what makes you feel good, and you
Hmm.
shouldn't feel good, because on judgment day, so to speak, if y'all say that's real, and I stand up as the black person, then the white person stand up and God cracked the sky, and he been giving that white person all their blessings this whole time. Who we taking? You know, he ain't taking
Right.
me.
Yeah. Absolutely.
That's their God. And
Absolutely.
nobody, no, none of us are blessed, as they say, up under that God. You can't, you're not. You don't, there's no miracles, there's none of that. Anything that has happened to anybody is science. You can say, oh, I went to the doctor and I got medicine, I ain't got diabetes anymore. Praise the Lord. No, you thank that doctor for giving you the right medicine. It's crazy to me.
Right. No, they they thank the Lord for the doctor. Right. It's crazy. It's really crazy. People are very conditioning programming, and people don't want to hear anything different. They don't want to. It's crazy. It's absolute. I just had a situation, and it didn't really affect me. I'm learning how to just let it go or whatever, and leave people where they're at. But last week my sister made a statement about um she received an email about a credit card payment being paid, and she hadn't made it. And so with the knowledge that I have and the research that I've been doing and information that I've stayed tapped into, um I was telling her that it could possibly be debt forgiveness because a lot of people's debts have actually been being forgiven. My
Yeah.
own student loan was forgiven in 2022 or 2023, I believe.
Yeah, mine
So
was
debts
too.
are
Yep.
being forgiven. People's mortgages are just being wiped clean, people's credit card without them having to do anything.
Hmm.
And it's just a slow roll of things being rolled out. But that's what I was trying to explain to her, and she basically just rolled her eyes at me, and I didn't even take, go into any more explanation or anything, because if you don't believe it and you don't want your debts to be forgiven or wiped clean, then that's on you. But it just really happened.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? So it just
Yeah.
is what it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
People think I'm
Sometimes you just gotta
crazy,
leave people be.
but you know, over the years, I've done a lot of things um, to be prepared for this change, and people look at me like I'm crazy. Um, but I just know because even I don't know if you know about anything in regards to the do you have you heard anything about um what is it called? The foreign currency exchange and the reevaluation of foreign currency.
I've seen some clips on it just through social media, but I haven't really did any research on it. But I've heard about it.
Okay. I just that information alone lets me know I'm in alignment. I'm moving in the right direction, even though things may not look like it on the surface level right now. I know I've been moving in the right direction because I mentioned my mother, being in those different circles all the way back in 2005. Well,
Hmm.
years before she passed, she was also learning about foreign currencies, about Iraqi dinars, is what a lot of different people have been educating her and a few of her friends about, investing and acquiring Iraqi dinars. And now there's even other currencies. All countries right now are getting ready to go through a currency exchange, a currency reevaluation. So,
Okay.
you also have like not just the Iraqi dinars, you can get um, Zimbabwe banknotes. You can also get
Hmm.
the um, Boulevard. What is that? That country? I can't think of what the Boulevard is. Bolivar. You can look that
So
up.
and so, how would you do
Um,
that?
you can find different foreign exchange companies. If you are
Hmm.
interested, you can definitely email me and I can send you some links. But my email address is shaymarieinc@gmail.com. And you can also put that, or I can put it in the chat for you to put up
Okay.
there. But I can direct you into a lot of different areas. I'm also into the crypto space as well, but um, getting your foreign currencies, those reevaluations. Someone just told me for one of one of the notes, if you have like 100 trillion of them, they'll eventually be like worth 15 million or something like that when the RV happens.
Hmm.
So but you have to be set up properly. You have to have certain things set up. The way the system is getting ready to change, a lot of people are unaware of what is happening, but the system is getting ready to change into a completely digital system based on
Hmm.
cryptocurrency and digital currency. I won't say cryptocurrency, let's just say digital currency. um, I've actually created my own cryptocurrency for my
Hmm.
ministry, and um, I've also created a cryptocurrency for my family dynasty trust. And I'm building a family office, in order to, when the wealth
Hmm.
transfer officially does happen, I'm in position. It's a lot of talk about when the RV happens, when the exchange, when not the exchange, but when the system officially turns over, there won't be any more
Mhm.
banks. So I don't know if people are aware, but if you have money in the bank, you want to try to get your money out the bank. You want to be really putting your funds into hard assets as well, gold, silver. I'm not necessarily. I don't necessarily think people should buy real estate because why are we buying what's already ours? But
Yeah. Okay.
cryptocurrency as well. I have a platform that I kind of put to the side, but I'm definitely eager to get it back up and running if I have students that are willing to learn and
Mhm.
teaching these different things where we can, and I'm not necessarily a teacher, we can learn together. It's really just a shared space, a shared learning space. So you know, you can follow me on Facebook, on my Facebook page to stay in tune. I actually have a
Mhm.
page for my ministry, Save Thyself International Moorish Ministries as well. I
Okay.
have a lot of things in the work, but cryptocurrency, you want to start investing in. Um, and right now is the perfect time to be prepared so that when the wealth transfer does happen, you'll have different variety of assets, whether it's gold, silver, you have foreign currency. People want to start getting their trusts set up. There's actually particular types of trust that you need to have set up. You need to have humanitarian projects set up so that
Mhm.
when the change happens, like I said, the banks are going to be shut down and they're actually transferring over to what they call um,
Mhm.
wealth management centers.
Okay.
So, and I actually seen that a commercial. I was watching something on Tubi not too long ago, and I think it was Chase or it might have been Bank of America advertising about wealth management,
Mm.
um, like a wealth management center or whatever. So
Mhm.
it's very well getting ready to take place. You understand what I mean? So,
Mhm.
um, right now is a perfect time to invest, especially because all of these Bitcoin, XRP, XRP, XDC, these are the currencies that are getting ready to be a part of the government and doing international exchange. And it's actually it's so intricate. I really couldn't be able to explain it all here on this
Mhm.
show today because of the different complexities and um, intrinsiquities, or how I can't really the word I'm trying to say, but um, it's a lot, and those that are not aware and those that are not have not been taking the time to invest really need to get in tune to what's happening so that you won't be left behind, that you will be prepared for your family, to make
Mhm.
sure that you have the currencies that you need. You have gold to be able to exchange. If I don't know if people have been hearing about this 3 days, or we've been hearing 3 days or 10 days of darkness.
Yeah, I saw
So you
something
don't
about
know
that.
which one it will be, but you want to be prepared for whatever, anyways. And I
So what
just
do you
look
think about
around.
art? Is art something
Art
that we
is a
should?
art is a good,
Because I
definitely is
love art.
intellectual
Yeah.
property. Yes, definitely. Art is intellectual property. So what I've been even learning in regards to intellectual property, these are things that give you value, your intellectual property. We can actually literally take those types of things and leverage them. That's where the money is. That's what they've been leveraging from us. And it's been in different types of ways. So let me explain what I mean by they've been leveraging certain types of intellectual property from people like us. For instance, when I was eight, no, I was 18, I just had my son. I came up with an idea of a baby bottle with a straw
Mhm.
connected to like a pacifier for the baby to be able to drink while the mother's in the car traveling and things of that nature. my parents took me to a patent company to see about getting this type of product patent. And at the time, I like I said, I was 18 years old. Um, when they told my parents the price for the patent, we didn't have $800 just sitting around. My dad, he probably did have it, but just didn't believe at the time. You know what I mean? You know,
Yeah.
I grew up in a very type of negative home where we really don't believe in ourselves. We don't believe in who we are and the things and the abilities that our children can do and create and have. So at the time, $800 was just not in the picture for my dad to give up on creation. But lo and behold, years later, here's my product I'm seeing out in the market.
Hmm. That's right.
And so
Because I use it for my grandkids.
that's
That's
one of the
true.
ways
I
that
use
they
it.
take that's one of the ways that they take our intellectual property. They take it and then get it patented. They did the same thing to a lot
Wow.
of our celebrities, Michael Jackson. Um, I heard something about they patented his shoes. His shoes were some type of real magical type shoes that they patented where when he did that lean forward, it was some type of gravity type shoes. And they patented that creation before, I believe, before he did it. It's a lot of things that they've been doing to take away our value, our intellectual property, and use it for themselves and make themselves rich while we struggle to pay to pay bills and everything else that we've been
Mhm.
struggling to do just to live when like everything is really here for us.
Yeah. Yep. Wow. I'm really that definitely is something I'm really interested in, and I'm probably going to do a whole separate segment, or we just going to talk about those intellectual properties because that's something that I'm really
Yes.
interested in. You know, and I kind
Yes.
of saw like a
Um,
little clip it on TikTok with Jay Z talking about, um, art, and I was like, because I like art, and he was saying how artwork is something that's good to invest in, but he never really, said why. So I'm glad you explained that. I needed to hear that.
Absolutely. People pay big money for art. I have a cousin who's an artist. My auntie was very much so into teaching her kids how to be creative and things of that nature. And so I have a cousin who's into architect, and I have one who actually went to college for, painting and art or whatever. And she literally sells her art. So
Wow.
most definitely, it's definitely a lucrative thing to get into. People will buy anything. I even just scrolling on Facebook, you see people just throwing paint and they literally selling that shit. It's so
Yep.
crazy, but it turns out beautiful. A lot of it turns out beautiful and things like that with the different types of paints and textures. I've been even learning about that those different types of things. I've been learning about the different types of ways to just be creative. It's so many possibilities. There is nothing. We limit ourselves. You know what I mean? And I get it because even I feel limited at sometimes to what I can do, but I just keep pushing on and eventually those limits will be removed, you know what I mean? The more I continue to strive or whatever, but literally we put limits on ourselves just by the thought of limitation at the end of the day.
Mhm.
So, art
Yep.
is definitely a thing you want to get into. You literally, because let's go back to the birth certificate. So the birth certificate thing is basically what we would say is a trust. It's an estate, but we are not in control of it. So
Mhm.
now we have to create our own trust, our own estate, where we are making sure that we are um because all of this entire system, let me just go here. The entire system is all about records. It's all about a ledger. You understand what I'm
Mhm.
saying? When I'm saying everything, that like 90, that 97% is just digits on a screen. It's just
Mhm.
a ledger. You don't understand. They're just balancing the books, balancing one side of the ledger versus another
Mhm.
side. There is no real money. We're the only stupid ones out here thinking that we got green dollar paper in our pockets and that that's money and that we're doing
Yeah.
something with it. And we're not. When, like, my husband's a truck driver and I be sometimes I drive or ride on the truck with them, and you see all types of businesses and things like that coming up. And knowing what I know now, these people don't just have millions of dollars sitting around just to start
Yeah.
creating these businesses and building up these big ass factories and things of that nature. They know how to leverage paper. One of my mentors just, oh my goodness, because it's all wordplay, but one of my mentors earlier today just talked about paperwork and how it's actually the paper that is literally working and it's supposed
Wow.
to be working. We not supposed to be working. It's the paper that's supposed to be working for us. That's what paperwork literally is means.
Wow.
Like, it's so, the like I said, the mind fuck is real. It's
Yeah.
real.
I've been seeing a lot of these Bitcoin machines and these currency machines, but then you hear some people say it's a fraud or it's going to crash or and not just be seeing little bits and pieces. And I'm wondering like why they got this big old machine in here right next to the ATM machine.
I would say do your own research. Like I said, do your own research. Um, when I say right now is the best time to invest in Bitcoin, you got Bitcoin, XRP, XDC, all of these different coins that I'm naming are getting ready to be a part of this entire new ecosystem. XLM, um, look up, it's called ISO 2022. I think that's what it is, ISO 2022. That's in regards to the government regulations and what's getting ready to happen with the economy. But those, so you will see that some of the currencies that I just named, XLM, XDC, XRP, Bitcoin, um, all of these currencies are going to be an intricate part, and they're different. They're basically playing like different parts of the system at the end of the day. But if you invest in them now, like the ones that I just named. Of course, Bitcoin, even at its 60, I think it's last time I looked earlier was $64,000 per Bitcoin. However, Bitcoin got up to like a hundred and something thousand. So right now it's still a good time to, you don't have to purchase one Bitcoin. You can still purchase a fraction of it. You can purchase $1 of it. Y'all can go right now on on your cash app if you have it, and buy $1 a day if you have to, and start seeing how your money is going to fluctuate because it goes up and down. But the more you start investing, you're going to start seeing, basically, because as you're investing over time, it's called dollar cost averaging. So you're averaging out your losses and your wins at the end of the day. um but once this change over to the new quantum financial system happens, um,
Mhm.
it's going to soar. XPR right now is at $1.10. XPR has gotten up to $4 at its highest. Right now, you can get it for $1.10. XDC,
Mm.
um, I don't know how much that is, but all of these other coins are like pennies on a dollar right now. No more than like 20 cents you can get it for. They're definitely dirt cheap.
Mm.
If you need help and assistance with those things, then you could definitely reach out to me. Like I said, I am open to reestablishing a platform to be able to teach people, or if you want
Mhm.
to um, if you want to establish a consultation with me, we can definitely do that as well, one on one, where I can, kind of walk individuals hand by hand um, through
Oh,
certain things,
okay.
because a lot of people, it's not hard. Like, people make stuff more hard than it is, but literally, you got, if
Yeah.
we all been using digital. We've been using these smartphones and using digital stuff for the last, what,
Yeah.
10, 15 years. And so, like, it is what it is, and it's happening. It's happening. Another
Yeah.
thing, what did I? Uh-oh. I'm still on call. I totally forgot what I wanted to mention, but I know it'll come back to me. It's about the preparation for the
Oh.
quantum. Oh, the quantum financial system. So, the quantum
Mm-hmm. The
financial
quantum
system,
financial system.
this is the new
Mm-hmm.
system that we're getting ready to be, that we're getting ready to have. This quantum financial system is based off of energy. A lot, like, people definitely need to look into these things. It's based off of energy, and there has been talks about when you do get these accounts and certain things like that, it's going to be, um, it can read your energy.
Mm-hmm.
So if
Okay.
your heart not right, you know what I mean? If your heart, it is being
Yeah.
said that, like, if your heart is not right, or if you're into certain things, then you're going to be locked out of that system. So I just said that to say this: do your research about it, but people definitely need to be getting themselves together, getting their hearts right, getting their homes in order, um and learning about these things.
Mm-hmm.
You can't shy away from them. Me, I've embraced it. I've always been into technology, so I've been embracing it. I've been into crypto since I started learning about it in 2017, 2016, possibly before then. um and it's just, it is where it is. This is where the world is heading to, and it's
Yeah.
inevitable. Little do we know, we've already been, the system literally has already been a blockchain technology system. It's just that the evolution of the technology is advancing. They've been recording us and doing all of these types of things for centuries and decades
Mm-hmm.
and thousands of years. And so it's just the advancement of technology is climbing or rising, um, due to the planet, the things that are changing on the planet. But this new quantum financial system, um, is something that you definitely want to look into.
So looking into that, so I probably I want to do money matters. So if you would be interested in that, at least maybe twice a month, just come in and just choose one thing to talk about, and get our people financially, literate. I'm
Absolutely.
older and I didn't learn a lot of this stuff until, I got into my 50s, about money, things and all that type of stuff. And I'm just now, teaching my daughters, how to do money situation and, saving and trust and all that type of stuff. And so, but I still need to learn a little bit more. So I will definitely be interested in at least twice a month for us to do, a money matters, and just give us a little bit of update and on how to do it, where to start, because we got to start somewhere. And I've been putting it behind
Absolutely.
me, just need to really just get it together. I'm winding down, and I'm
Yeah, I
ready for the
say
next,
definitely.
for the next level.
I don't know. I can also put people on to a lot of different people in our community that I glean from for information and for upliftment to keep us, which I'm sure some of these people, a lot of um, the conscious community already knows about, but I'm sure there's other audiences that watch your show that probably don't know about. But um, There's an individual, Rod Hayes, that really breaks down. He just did an amazing breakdown about the system that I really was just speaking about the birth certificate and about how there's really no money and all of that. He just did an amazing breakdown on brother Young Elders channel. And I hope it's okay that
Hmm.
I'm promoting these
Oh
different
yeah, yeah,
people,
yeah.
but um
I'm all for it.
I just want to give people insights on where to get the information from, because like I'm just for our people being in. I'm a nosy person. I'm a Virgo and I'm nosy. So I like to know everything I possibly can. And so another
Hmm.
person is that I listen to. She's so gracious and a lovely woman. One of our elders, her name is Dr. Kia Pruitt. I highly recommend you
Okay.
learning, following her. She's definitely into a lot of geopolitics, and really supporting her claims and where she's getting information from, helping you to actually understand what's taking place within the government and why Trump is doing some of the things that he's doing, so that you won't be so alarmed like a lot of these crazy people are, especially the Democrats or the Democrats
Hmm.
are. So she will definitely
You right.
give you a different perspective of what's going on in that area. Um,
Hmm.
and follow Young Elder because he's very knowledgeable as well. And who else? Oh, another brother. His name is Brother Chief Mac on YouTube, but on Facebook his name is Judah Allen or Allen Judah. Either way, Judah Allen or Allen Judah. I don't know which one how it's written, but definitely check him out. Lots of information you can obtain. Lots of enlightenment has been being dropped over the last past month. Um,
Wow.
just a lot of things are getting ready to happen and take place. So you just want to be prepared. Because you can already see it. So
Yeah,
that's that.
yeah. Well, I'm definitely gonna start on that on the Bitcoin stuff. That'll be where I start. I don't know if anybody else out there listening where y'all gonna start. But I'm definitely going to give me a couple of them
Absolutely.
Bitcoins and see, you know, what happens and where it goes and do my research. I appreciate you coming on the Frequency Higher Network. We appreciate you sharing everything. Man, you dropped so much on us. You got to come back.
Yeah,
'Cause
I
we
know. I'm
need,
sorry because I'll be
we
all
deal
over
with
the
a lot
place.
of stuff.
Yeah, I don't get an
It's all right. We
opportunity to
deal
talk
with a
to a
lot
lot
of
of people about what I have on my mind all the time. So when I do get the opportunity to talk, I probably do be all over the place because I mean it's a lot. It's a lot.
yeah. Yeah, it's a lot, and and I just kind of feel like, you know, we always coming up the back end, and we got to be catching up on the information, and because the other people, they know all of this, they already know all of that stuff. They done set their families up for generations, and we
Yes.
coming up the back end,
Yes.
But even though we coming up the
Mhm.
back end, baby, we gonna educate our people, and we are gonna work this thing out because
Absolutely.
this is our stuff. It's gonna happen anyway.
Absolutely.
Yep, it's
Right.
gonna happen
Absolutely.
anyway.
I
Yep,
was,
and I
yeah,
thank
but
you so
most
much,
definitely
Empress.
follow
Take it
Ryan
away.
Hayes. He's been talking a lot about the tribal, the chiefs on the land, and how the power is actually being given back to the chiefs on the land, and um make the matriarch return of the matriarchs. That's important to me, most definitely, because us mothers, us women have been through a lot. And so if you women out there are looking for a supporter of women and supporter of mothers and children, a person that you definitely want to watch and listen to, like he's definitely a walking encyclopedia of knowledge, wisdom, information. um and he will tell you he's doing the work of Big Mama for sure. And so
Mhm.
he's talking about how the tribes are definitely formulating all across the land and all of those things. So unity is definitely happening, but we definitely have to do better at coming together and um, stop falling
Yeah.
for.
Well,
for
yeah,
I'm
them other
sorry.
people, they don't wanna give up the as we call them here, the $5 Indians. because
Well, they don't
I
have a
literally
choice.
live on the reservation,
Really?
and I deal. I'm in Oklahoma, so
Okay.
I'm in Tulsa,
Okay.
and I live on Osage, but
Okay.
we surrounded with Greenwood, Black Wall Street. My business is on Black Wall Street. I live on Greenwood. I'm on all of that. I'm in all of that. The 1921 race riots. I'm all down there on
Mm.
all of that. And
Wow.
the Black Creek, Black Muskogees, Kyoto tribes. I mean, these are some beautiful black people. You can look at them and see, these are the beautiful black American Indians. But then when you look on the TV, you
Mhm.
see just jumping up and down and ooh. And then when you do your research as to where those particular dances and where that particular stuff comes from, it don't come from here. It's not even attached
Mm.
to anything here. Those dances and all that stuff they be doing, has nothing to do with the Native American, you know. And but when you try to tell them that or try to give them any knowledge, they always say, no, 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 I am. Well, go look at your own treaties. I
Right.
point out to their own treaties because it's not working and it's not true. So now the black people here are really starting, to take control and they know exactly who they are and they know that they are the American Indians.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And
Yep.
it's a beautiful thing.
I'm on a podcast. Yep. All right. Well, we've been up here almost an hour. I'm gonna let you go, Empress. And we
Okay.
appreciate you. I mean, you dropped some real good knowledge. And we gotta have you back. We're definitely gonna have you on the money matters and just keep
Okay.
teaching us, because we want to learn. I want to learn the Frequency Higher Network. We appreciate you being a
Absolutely.
part of our network and just sharing all your knowledge with us. And if any last words for our people out there?
Well, um, I just want to say I thank you for having me. Thank you for having me on the show today. It's definitely uh, a good experience. It's not my first time doing a podcast, but I appreciate the experience and being able to share my story or whatever. I hope I was able to enlighten whomever today and encourage anyone. Um, and let's just stay together. Like I said, if anyone needs to reach out to me about anything that I did speak on that interests you, she did put my email address in the chat, or you can reach out to me on Facebook at it's Empress Shay Marie. So it's without the Empress is without the first E. It's just Press. So you can always reach out to me on Facebook there. But other than that, I just enjoyed myself today and I look forward to coming back on.
Oh, most definitely. And thank everybody for tuning in to this episode with Empress Shay Marie. And like she said, reach out to her and we will definitely have her back on. And this is the Frequency Higher Network. We love you all. Let's go higher.